Well, it's very simple to start a whole reselling or reseller program from this company. To get the whole point or the whole concept, you will first have to register as a free reseller. If you would want to go to the option to pay as a reseller, then you can choose this option if you want to pay. But I'm sure you would want to do the free reseller option. So you first have to start a free reseller program whereby you are going to be a reseller as a developer. So you go to the start button. Then you have to fill in this form as a free reseller. Once you are done with this sign up, you have to log in. So let's assume that you finish filling in this form as a reseller. So I'm going to log in to the platform. I will log in from this point. Click on login. Well, I've logged in to the account, and here is my account details. So with this customer or with this company, you will be able to buy a domain name from this company at a wholesale price. You would only have to make sure that you have created or completed your profile settings, and once you log in, they will send you a confirmation link for you to verify your email account. So make sure that you do the reseller confirmation, and after that you will have to answer some questions from them. From here, reseller to do. So this is what you have to do. You have to make sure that you have answered the questions here, and once you answer the questions, you are way done. This is because it's a way of setting up your account, that is your store, to resell their product. Now let's take, for instance, you're not going to set up your store today, and you would have to buy a domain name straight away. So if you want to buy a domain name straight away, then you can go straight to buy at wholesale, which is here. Then you would have to buy straight, and later on you can set up your store whereby you will be selling domain names and web hosting accounts for your clients or customers, so that you, whenever you push it forward, your store forward, it becomes your store whereby you are going to set up your own prices to be sold. All right, now let's take, for instance, you are going to buy an item at a wholesale price for a customer now. So I've selected the wholesale option, buy wholesale, and I'm asked to wait for a few seconds. Unfortunately, my phone is a bit slower and my internet is slower as well, so I have to take some few minutes before everything loads. Okay, so once the wholesale settings is loaded, this is how you're going to go about. You will first have to create a username for the client that you're going to sell the domain name or hosting to. So let's take, for instance, you create this as legit, that is the customer's username as legit. And what do you want to buy? Do you want to buy a domain name if you would want to buy a domain name, then you have the option to choose from a domain name. Or if you would want to buy a hosting plan, then you can choose from the hosting plans. Any of them. We have the semi, we have there are different plans, Open VPS, and a lot more. These are the dedicated plans and a lot more. Depending on the job or the work that you're going to do for the client, you would have to choose. Then the next step is to select where the hosting company should host your website. If the website is to be hosted in the USA, then you can leave this option blank. So you will leave it blank, you will leave it without touching it, so that it's going to host your website in the United States for your client. If you would want to choose another location, then you can choose Europe, or you can choose Great Britain. You can also choose Australia or Canada, whichever way that you want. Then after you select any of these states where it will be located, your website will be located. So that will depend on you. Well, then we go to the next option, where you are going to register your domain name, and you'll be asked to choose a domain name, a name for your business, that is for the customer's business. So let's take, for instance, the customer is a dealer of shoes or sneakers. So you can enter something like shoeland.com, shoeland. So that's going to be the customer's website address. Oh, why was it? I was entering shoeland.com, but it looks as if there were a lot of things. So you're going to test to see, this is shoreland. No, I want shoeland. All right, .com, and I would test to see if this TLD, that is called TLD, that is the actual URL. So it is called a TLD, and I would choose the .com instead of the world. So there are a lot of TLDs here that can be used, if it is for sale or for cheap, coupons, zone, whatever. It depends on you. So if the user is going to, let's take for instance, .com is the common form of TLDs that most people choose. So shoeland.com, and we're going to check to see if that domain name is available, and I'll hit on that to see if it's available. Once I notice that it's available, then I will be able to go ahead with the registration of the domain name. And let's see, I've chosen the shoeland.com, and then I'm asked to check to see if it's still available. So I'm going to click on check over here. Check, and their database is going to look through the entire worldwide domain names to see if there is a domain name like shoeland.com which can be purchased. So if it's available, then I will be notified below, and this is what is happening. It's telling me that shoeland is not available. That is why it's been indicated here for me to transfer instead. So someone has registered shoeland.com, and therefore I cannot register shoeland.com. But the one available, the TLD that is available, is this: register shoeland.world, and for that one I can have it. So you would have to try different domain names and different TLDs. And then wherever you see transfer, it means that domain name is not available. It means someone has registered it for a business or something of that sort. Okay, so it looks as if Shoeland is very common. So you would have to choose the type of domain name that you would want to use for the business that you're going to register. Let me take this as an example that I would want to register shoeland.biz. Yes, I'm being asked to use a whois. That's to choose a whois for it as the privacy protection, which is additional $8.8 for that service. And whois is, or it stands for who is it for. So who is this domain name for? And if you register every domain name, you'll be asked to provide a whois protection. That is an optional service. So if you don't want people to see the person registering the domain name, the country where he come from, and some data that will be protected by the company, then you have to purchase it. You have to buy the whois protection so that your name, your email address will be hidden by the company. But if you leave it blank, it means everyone in the world is going to be able to find the one who purchased this domain name, or that person can identify the owner of the domain name. And then the security SSL is something that is also required for all websites of the day. So Google wants each and every website to have an SSL certificate, and that should be also added to the customer's cost if you would want to build a genuine website for your customers. And that will also add up to the customer's cost. That is how it works. So you can choose the SSL for now, or you can decide to upgrade the SSL cost later on. And if you would want to use the SSL, you can go ahead to do it. But if you don't want to do it now, you can do it later. So that means it's an optional service for you. Now I will disable it so that we can move ahead with what I want to teach now. Then I will click on next. Next, when I click on next, I will be asked to enter the whois detail. That is the name, the customer name, and the details of the customer. That is his email address. And in this case, you will be required to enter 2 different email addresses, of which you would have to make them available when you are asked to confirm. So you have to enter 2 different email addresses, either one for your customer and one for you as the reseller. So once you are asked to enter the whois details, then you will have to provide the details. That's the name for your customer, the details about the one registering the domain name. That is what you will have to provide to the company, and it's something that is required by law, so you cannot leave it just like that. You cannot leave it. This company is a registered company which has been in business for over 20 years now, since they were in business since 2008. And this company, that is LiquidNet Limited, is a London-based company which is also required by law to protect every member of this company. So they will also want you to provide the details of your customer, and your customer will be registered on this system or on their database as the one who registered the domain name. Should in case there is an issue arising after registering the domain name, such as using the domain name for any fraudulent activity, then you, the registrar, or the register, the user of the domain name, can be tracked. That is why each and every person is asked to provide the details of their registration. So that's how it is. And after you provide all these details, I think you will be asked to confirm again. You have to confirm your email address, and then you should proceed to the payment. And in this case, there are options whereby you can use to make payments. You can use a Visa card or MasterCard, American Express or PayPal, bank wire, and a lot. And then you can also load up money onto your wallet account, so that you will be able to pay through that. And this is what you will do. And in all, you, after making the payment, the domain name will be created for you. You have to first select the option as being accepted. You accept their terms of service before. So by creating this account, you agree with our terms and conditions, cancellation, refund policy, and privacy policy. So you have to check that one too as well before you continue. So make sure you give your details. I'm sure there is something here that is okay. Did you unlock your domain name through other computers? Other company. All right. I'm sure it's because of my internet service. I should have gone to the who is details area, but when I click on it, it's not moving. I'm sure my internet is not well performing well, it's not performing well tonight. So you would have to go through that. I think I've done some few tutorials for you of which you can follow through. Please make sure to do so. And it's almost 17 minutes now. All right, 17 minutes. It's too long. Let me upload this to the YouTube so that you will be able to watch it later on. Thank you for watching, and see you again. It's Finn. You can call me Sir Finn.